Hey everybody, welcome back to Roll
With the Troll.
We are talking today about a person named Ezra Miller.
Yes.
Oh boy, this fucking guy has created such a disturbance in the force.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, Ezra is getting deeper and deeper into God knows what, but yeah, he's in big trouble, I think. He's not on a good path at all.
This never ends well for any Hollywood actor. Can you remember any one Hollywood actor story that went from like a little violence to more, and it somehow ended well? I've never heard, like, it never ends with, and then they stopped all their bullshit and went on to have a great career. Robert Downey Jr. style.
Well,
never happens.
Yeah, sometimes it happens, like with Robert Downey Jr. and Justin Bieber even, but wow, it can take a long time, and Ezra is clearly struggling with a lot of demons, or I don't know what's going on, but I fear for his mental health, to be honest with you.
You know who I fear for?
The women?
No.
That cross his path?
The real victim in this?
Yeah.
Grant Gustin.
Yeah.
He plays TV Flash. Because
Yes.
how tired is he of repeating the line, dude, it wasn't me. I'm the TV Flash. I'm not the one who's
that's
hitting
funny.
any women. He's got to be so frustrated. If I'm him, you know what my voicemail says?
Yeah.
I change it from, hey, this is Grant Gustin. Thanks for calling. Leave a message. My new voicemail, if I'm Grant Gustin from The Flash, is, listen, I'm not the fucking guy who did it, okay? You're confusing me with the Flash from the movies. Can we please knock it off?
Yeah.
He's probably getting subpoenas all day long and shit.
Yes. Yeah.
You poor guy.
People who can't separate the two, and who knows? But yeah, I've done a little interesting reading on the situation with Ezra Miller, and to be honest with you, as upset as I've been over the reports about him getting arrested for assaulting people, and I'm just incredulous about it. But once I start kind of reading more about how often things like this have been happening over the years, this is not new in his life. I'm really concerned that this is someone who is clearly mentally ill. And so I don't know what kind of help is available to him. I don't know what.
Probably nothing.
Yeah, what is his family or support situation? But he needs some intervention or some.
Well, I don't think you're allowed to call him he anymore. This is another one of those very confusing situations where this person wants to be they them, which makes reading these articles very fucking complicated.
I had a very difficult time reading a particular article that was written about him because they were honoring the they them pronouns, but it did honestly. I'm sorry, forgive me, but it does get confusing for a reader, because when they're talking about he was making threats to shoot KKK members, and then in the next paragraph talks about he posted some kind of a video to their website or Instagram or something. I now do not know. Does that mean that the video was posted to the KKK
right, meaning
page,
their website,
or
the KKK,
to Ezra Miller's? I don't know what it means, but at any rate, it does get confusing. And sometimes when I read that kind of stuff, I'm sorry, I have to read it and then go back and reread the paragraph and replace the they, them with him, his, so that I can make sense of it in my own head. But I don't want to digress on that, because that's not the point of this particular video. But he really is heading down a very dangerous path for himself, and the police apparently have been called on him 10 times in recent weeks, and I'm not sure why he's not being actually arrested or be put into a psychiatric facility at this point, because he clearly is a danger.
Yeah, look, I always like to say that if you're not there and to actually see a situation from the very beginning to the very end, that you never really know.
Yes.
So now, I'm not defending. Don't start the bullshit, everybody. Saying I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying that let's sort this out logically.
Right.
We're not there. We're hearing third-hand Hollywood hype.
Right.
And the few videos that I've seen are like a little 2-second clip of how it ends and not how it all begins, right?
Sure.
So again, not defending, but
we're just trying to be fair.
To be fair for a quick second, and then we'll get into some more details here. But to be fair for a second, you could easily take all kinds of stories where, like, for example, all you end up hearing is Ezra Miller, grabbed the TV set from a wall, fucking threw it at a paraplegic, and it blew up, and like 20 people were killed. Okay.
This is not in the news reports, people.
Not yet, but it's probably coming soon. But like, meanwhile, okay, but what led to that? Like, almost nobody just does that out of nowhere, right?
Right.
And what gets left out, let me just quickly say, what gets left out a lot is maybe you're at a party, and maybe when you first get to the party, someone says some little comment like, oh yeah, I heard about you, you're an asshole, and you better watch your shit. And then a little bit later, same punk will kind of like, I'm not saying this happened, I'm just saying I've been in situations like this where maybe an hour later, that person kind of like brushes by and deliberately like bumps you, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. And then a little bit later, like maybe the girlfriend like tries to pull some bullshit with you and she confronts you. So it's like things do add up at parties and social events and even in social media to a point. So I don't know what this fucking person's up to. You know, I have no idea. I'm not there. I'm just saying it is kind of easy to jump on the bandwagon. That said, with this video, we are officially now jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, we are.
Because we're pretty convinced that Ezra is not innocent in all this, even though we really don't know.
Right. Well, and I think it's a legitimate topic for us to address because, you know, we kind of address all things nerdy on our channel. And what's going to happen?
Fucking nerd. There's nothing nerdier than dressing like that. Look at that.
He can rock a red lip. Let's not, discount that. But
Gross. I'm
just, what happens to the Flash now? What happens to, the projects that he's involved in? I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I were the producers. I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't like the thought of people losing their livelihoods over stupid bullshit stuff that has nothing to do with the work that they do. But at the same time, when you're the face of a franchise, that, this kind of stuff can make it difficult, I imagine, for projects to continue.
Here's how difficult it's getting. According to one report, DC, who's already struggling a lot, let's address that in a second too. DC has invested over $200 million into the Flash movie.
Wow.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, who maybe aren't following the whole Flash story as closely, first of all, the DC movies do not tie in with the Flash from TV. So that's why
right.
I talked earlier about Grant Gustin. He has nothing to do with this. He's not in the Flash movie, right? Supposedly.
Right.
This fucking guy is. They've been trying to develop this Flash movie for what must be a record of Hollywood development hell. I think it's been something like 7 years now.
Wow.
Since they first said, okay, let's greenlight this thing to now. It was supposed to come out, I think, relatively soon after Man of Steel, which was 2013. I think it was going to be out by 2015 or 16 originally.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. And they just kept having all these problems. $200 million later, it's gone through 1 million revisions. DC needs to make money on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember how Solo, they had so much money tied up,
mm-hmm.
but it was looking more and more like it wasn't going to recoup. Like, Lucasfilm was realizing this movie's going to come out and it's going to tank, and here we are doing more and more reshoots.
Mm-hmm.
That's a similar situation here with the Flash movie. So DC is already a sinking ship. Their movies are not doing well. They keep having to soft reboot, try something new, multiple versions of Batman, all these fucking problems with DC. And yet here they are, hoping they're about to recoup this $200 million with a hugely successful Flash movie. And each one of these fucking incidences with Ezra Miller is only sinking that possibility more and more and more.
Yeah.
Like if I'm the guys at DC, like Walter Hamada and these cats at DC, the bigwigs that have to sit and make decisions. I don't even know if he's there anymore now. But they are probably, every time one of these stories surfaces, but then slowly starts to kind of move away and get somewhat forgotten, and they get to distance from it by a few months, they're probably thinking, they're wiping the eyebrow and going, all right, that story's kind of going away. Maybe people are somewhat forgetting. We can do some good press for the movie and for Ezra himself and her themself, and then we can get this thing out. And instead, every time one story starts to clear, another one shows up, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, bam, a new one arrives. And there are so many fucking stories about Ezra Miller at this point that I just don't know how they can get away from any of this, especially if the woke mob, and it's not even the woke mob anymore now. I mean, it's anybody is going to want to protest Ezra Miller to some degree because of these fucking behaviors. There's so many of them now, right? So
yeah.
It's not even, you can't blame the woke mob or cancel culture now. It's just kind of clear that by the time this movie comes out, enough people will have just been so soured on this motherfucker that a lot of people will just not want to see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at him. He doesn't look like a likable person at this point for any reason.
Yeah. Well, he's, I don't even know what to think, honestly, except that the more that I read, the more clear that it becomes to me that he's really struggling with mental illness. And I hope that he gets some help.
See, now if you said, I hope that they get some help, would that be any clearer to anybody? I'd be confused. I'd be like, who's they? What, the victims?
They who?
What, the people at DC? You think they need help? I'd be fucking lost. So the whole fucking thing doesn't work. I'll tell you where he really belongs. We did a video yesterday about Mike Barnes from Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid. And how in the Karate Kid movies, there's an escalating theme of violence towards women.
We did talk about that,
Talked a little bit about that yesterday. I'll put a link in the description. Make sure you check that out if you haven't already. By the way, please like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video, because we talk stupid shit like this all the time, and it's fun. So we were talking yesterday about the Mike Barnes thing. Violence against women in Karate Kid gets bigger, bigger, bigger. The first film, all they did was run over her radio, and Johnny yelled at her a little bit. Okay, Ellie got by pretty well. Then in the second film, terrible violence towards Kumiko with an O. Third film, Jesus Christ, we saw Jessica get kicked in the fucking pelvis by Mike Barnes. Fourth film, there's a girl who's the star of this film, so you're thinking maybe they're going to back up with some of the violence towards women. No, even worse. That movie...
They double and quadruple down on it.
Multiple people threatened to rape her in that movie. Maybe what I'll do to her was in the third film and the fourth film. Anyway, Ezra Miller, if DC wants to get rid of him, he could fit right into a Cobra Kai or Karate Kid.
Oh my God.
I mean, even Miguel knocked fucking Sam down at the beach. So I think that's where he belongs. I think he's going to find a comfortable home in the Karate Kid universe.
I do not want to see him in Cobra Kai.
Ned and his buddies. You know, the problem is Ned and his buddies don't want to be within 1,000 feet of Ezra Miller. Like, even they're like, dude, you're too much of a dick. we don't want to put up with your bullshit either. I mean, he's like a real life Mike Barnes, except without the karate or the skills or the funny comments or anything else. So anyway, guys, look, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, click the bell. We'll see you tomorrow for more groundbreaking videos like this one. Thanks for supporting the channel.
Thanks.